Oh, you're having trouble with contrast sensitivity and you want to know what's available to help you? Well, let's talk about that today. Hi, I'm Dr. Ed Huggett. I run the New Eyes Low Vision Solutions Low Vision Clinic in Palm Harbor, Florida, and also at the Lighthouse for the Visually Impaired and Blind up in Newport Richey on Ridge Road. And I love talking about my profession. Been doing it for 36 years now, and it's hard to believe, but 36 years have really come and gone really quickly, but I still love doing what I'm doing and love helping people. So if there's a chance I can help you, I'd love to take advantage of that. And if you're not sure if there's something I can do to help, if you're just wondering, what can I do that all the other eye doctors haven't been able to do, call me. I'd love to talk to you. I've learned over the years there's 3 real simple questions I can ask you, and you can easily answer, and it tells me how much I may be able to help you. And if you come in for an appointment and I can't help you, there's no out-of-pocket expense. So it's pretty low risk, but it's a rare person I can't help. So I only see people with vision impairments due to head trauma, stroke, and eye disease. So if you have a difficulty or you're having difficulty with contrast sensitivity, you're saying, I'm just having trouble seeing things. They're just not sharp. And maybe even your regular eye doctor saying, hey, listen, your visual acuity is fine, or maybe it's impaired some, but you shouldn't be having the trouble you are. That's because they probably didn't check a really important quality of vision called contrast sensitivity. And how is that checked? Well, let me show you. There's actually a test. One of the ones I use is called the Mars Contrast Sensitivity Test. And this is a test you probably have never seen before. If you have, I commend whoever did that test for you. But you'll see it's a test that has letters that look like the whole card fades out. That's because each letter is slightly less contrast than the previous. And depending on how far down the chart you read, it's all calibrated. So I can check that off and score that. Determines how much contrast sensitivity you have or don't have. And where does that come into play? Well, with macular degeneration, glaucoma, cataracts, diabetic eye disease, hypertensive eye disease, you can actually have a reduced contrast sensitivity, and that's the quality of how much contrast your eyes need to make a picture. So if you think of your eyes like a camera, it's contrast. And you may even remember back when you were a child, remember televisions had a contrast knob? You could turn that knob way down or way up. So if you turned it way down, you could kind of see the outlines of things, but you couldn't make out the details. Or if you turned it way up, you'd see everything is really very black and very white. Well, if you think about turning that knob way down where you can kind of see outlines of things, but you can't see the details, you're having trouble recognizing faces, having trouble going up and down curbs and steps, that's because those are low contrast activities, low contrast things that you're looking at. So how do we counteract that? Well, filters is one of them. One of the ways we can do that, there's many filters we have here. I have lots of different colors, and you'd be surprised how much, say, an orange or even maybe a yellow. There's some yellow lenses that can help, but we have other colors. You'd be surprised how many people like the plum color or even the brown. Those can help a great deal because a lot of times people will have issues with glare. And with glare, they're going to get something really dark. They say, I had to get a really dark pair of sunglasses to reduce the glare. But the problem is you get it so dark now you don't have an issue with glare, but now it's too dark to see what you want to see. So you're kind of roaming around in the dark. So you got to get not only the right density of tint, not only the right darkness, but also the color. The hue is important. And then we have one of my favorite tints and colors is or lenses is what's called the Corning CPF. And now, I don't think Corning makes these anymore, but I do know that we make them all the time. And this is a lens that has some different colors, and there's even many more colors than this. But the thing about this is they get light and dark depending on how bright it is outside. And we have the ability to tint pretty much any color in any density. I can go from a tint that's barely there, like maybe a very mild brown tint or whatever color you want, to something as dark where it's only letting maybe 1% of light through, or anywhere in between. There's a lot of things we can do. And one other thing that's important is when you get outside, people will have trouble with glare and the light coming from above, and that cuts down your contrast sensitivity also. So what you can do is wear a little visor, a little cap, and then some good sunglasses. I love fit over sunglasses. This is a type called Cocoons. I love this. I don't get paid by them at all. This is not a commercial for them. It's just something I really love in the office here because not only can you get a custom tint or any tint in here, this is a very light yellow tint, but also they shield above and below and on the sides, so you cut out a lot of that extraneous glare and light coming in from the sides, and that'll help you with contrast sensitivity. And if you find a specific or custom tint you like, we can put that tint right in these. We can put a prescription in these if you want to, but most people, what they'll do is they'll buy the basic pair with a tint that they like in it, and then put it over top of their regular glasses. That way they can wear them whether they have their glasses on or not. So that's something to think about. Now I'm going to take you in the kitchen. Let's take a little field trip here, okay? All right, let's do that. So we're going into our office kitchen, and just to illustrate some things about contrast, you know, if I'm going to be pouring coffee into this black mug, obviously that's putting black on black, and now I've got it also on a dark tabletop. So do you think there's a high probability if I had low contrast sensitivity or poor vision that I'm going to spill that? Probably will. So let's do this. Let's get a high contrast, nice light color mug on a dark background or dark table, and we can pour that coffee in there, and boy oh boy, it's going to be a whole lot easier to see. Same thing with dishes. So if I'm going to have say a roast with dark brown gravy on a dark plate on a dark table, you get the idea. And you can get it like a white plate, put some dark food on that, or if you have light food like rice or mashed potatoes, that kind of thing, you can put it on a dark plate, or have a separate plate. You could have, maybe you have light color food, put it on a dark plate, and if you have some dark color food, you can put it on a lighter plate, and then have smaller plates and that kind of thing. So that helps a great deal. So let's leave out of the kitchen. Let's talk about one more thing here. I think it's pretty critical relating to contrast sensitivity. So let's go down the hall and see what we have here. So the last thing I really need to talk to you about, and that's lighting. Lighting is critical. So if you have fairly high contrast things you want to see, there's super high contrast. It could be pretty easy, but if you have lower contrast types of reading material that you need to see, like this brochure here, you can see that there's black print on a bluish background, and that's going to be much lower contrast. And even lower contrast might be like newspaper, paperback books, that kind of thing. And those are low contrast. And you know, with normal vision, it may not seem like a big issue, but if you have a vision impairment due to some macular disease or glaucoma, it is a big problem, and can make it really difficult to see things. And in fact, the more problem you have with contrast sensitivity, the more magnification we have to add to your prescription. And that leads me to the one last thing about magnification. A lot of people don't understand really what I do. How can I make a person see better? So it's not about getting just a regular prescription and the proper prescription. It's actually also about adding magnification to that prescription. So it's a prescription plus magnification that allows you to see much better. And when we do a low vision exam, it's very common for me, and almost every single time, if I come up with a high-powered telescopic device or some kind of optical device, I'm actually going to put it together in the exam room, let you try it out and show you exactly what it does before you'd ever purchase anything. I want to make sure somebody's really going to get the benefit out of anything that I would recommend. And we always give you, you know, if you decide you want to get something and you're having trouble with it, we always give somebody 3 months of trying it out at home to see if it works before we ever would change it. And we have 3 months to change it at no additional charge. So you purchase something, go home, a month or two later, you find out it's not working, your vision's changed, or something in your life has changed and this device doesn't work. Well, tell me what you want to do, tell me what you want to see, and I'll measure your vision, and I can make an adjustment or change the device totally. So hopefully that helps. If you have any questions, do give me a call. I love answering questions on the phone. Do a free phone consultation if necessary. I'm at New Eyes Low Vision, 727-463-2579. And our website, obviously, if you're here on the website. If you're not, it's lowvisionsupport.org. And hopefully I will see you in the office sometime soon with you or someone else you love or know, and hopefully help them improve their vision. So until next time, have a great day.